We're going to look at, well, the desires, verses 11 and 12. We're probably just going to look at verse 11. Now today's lesson is, God's word is it is as it is. It is always a blessing. Sometimes it takes various twists and turns. Today it takes one of those turns. Most of us hear and know about the faith of Abraham. But we talk very little about the faith of Sarah. And yet, what he asked God for, and we'll talk about that more in depth, as some of us will put requests before God, it's not that God can't honor the request. It's just that we're not clear how he will honor the request. See, sometimes we ask God for stuff and we think that we can get it on our own. Sometimes we ask God for things that we think is just for our benefit. Right. And it supersedes us or our immediate family. Now, it's the silent person. It's the background person. It's the overlooked person. But it's also the one that God chose to include. It doesn't matter in every family, in every church setting. Just like when you enjoy a movie, we appreciate those in front of the camera. That's the star. That's the one who does the stunts. Those are the movie stars, the action people. But how many know if it were not for those who were behind the camera, you would never have a movie? The people who have to edit, all the computer folk, the generator folk, the folk who have to splice and dice it, the folk who have to make sure this is in place and that's in place so you don't fall out and get hurt. If it weren't for all of those people, see, most of us never stay till the end of a movie. You know, with the Marvel movies, they always got some little special clips, so we'll stay for that. But while we're staying for that, what you miss is, Dorothy, at the end of the movie, do you see all the names? Now, at the beginning of the movie, the stars that are actually in it, that list is short. Of the actual people that we watch and enjoy and we celebrate. But in order to celebrate the top list, oh my God, I mean, they roll credits for days as to all of the behind the scenes people that if it were not for them, we would not enjoy that little list of folk, Marissa, at the top. Well, we celebrate Abraham. We enjoy Abraham. But he asked God for a son, and what he asked God for, he could not get on his own. I like the language of God because, watch this. If it was necessary for Abraham to leave in order to get to the blessing of God, she had to too. Right. I'll let that rest on you. And in most settings, we have not gotten to the place in God because once somebody is traveling, once somebody is riding, oh, you missed it. And so you've been in a car before. The driver's locked in. Something happens to the driver, and somebody else in the car who was riding now has to drive back. Problem. Not only don't know where they're going, don't know where they are, don't know how we got there, and it's like you were in the car while the person was driving. What's the response? I wasn't driving. I wasn't paying attention. Because you just assumed they were going to take us there. You didn't know that after they got there, something was going to go down, and they were going to stay. And it's able-bodied drivers in the car, but nobody was. And so as a result, I don't even know how to get back. Because I was convinced this wasn't my journey. This the driver's journey. I'm just along. Wow. I can't tell you how that is in so many relationships where somebody is serving God, somebody is pushing in God, and the spouse and kids are just riding. Watch this. Hebrews 11, verse 11. Now, you know, when we started the Abraham narrative, 8 and 9 talked about him in the land and his sons. He was looking for a foundation. I like this. Now, look at verse 11 in chapter 11.
Because of faith.
So, not even on her own. Come on.
Also, Sarah herself.
Did you see how the language was? Also. Because if you're not careful, we'll read right past her. As if she doesn't even matter. And while she may not matter to you, and we have Sarahs in our families and in our churches all over the world. While she may not matter to you, if this thing is to be actualized in God, she matters to God. Wow. Also, Sarah herself, you're not going to believe this. Watch this.
Received physical power.
Listen at that.
To conceive a child. Even when she was long past the age for it.
Watch this. Come on.
Because she considered God, who had given her the promise to be reliable and trustworthy and true to his word.
See, it's not enough to know that Abram had to grow in God to become Abraham. Well, Sarai did too.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Amen.
See, and in every setting, you can see settings where the wife is strong and the husband just lay back. Well, she got a relationship with God. She'll get us there. You finna die. You know, or the man's strong in God. As long as he connected to God. Me and the kids will be all right. You finna die. Yeah. Because Genesis 2 says, they're not two flesh, that remain two flesh. One. Yeah, you started out two, but the two is supposed to become one. So see, whatever the man assumes in God, the wife. Yeah. See, in a hospital setting, you know, the nurse is not the doctor. But I got news for you. Let the doctor fall out. I bet you she know enough to keep you alive. Come on. She could not properly assist him if she didn't know not only her job, but she didn't know his job too. Now, I may not have the title and I may not have the qualification, but I got the experience. Everybody hear what I'm saying? Yeah. No, you're not the husband. You're not the daddy. You're not the father. But in God, you better know what it takes to be the husband. You need to know what it takes to be the father. You need to know what it takes to be the daddy. So that when the daddy is not in place, whether that's physically or spiritually, you are in the spot to do what God called you to do.
Yes, sir.
What do you look like? God said, I'm going to make you a helper, Adam. And then when she get here, now I'm going to tell you this, Adam. I don't know nothing about gardening. What you finna do then? Yeah. I'm a city person. You don't live in the city. Yeah. All these weeds, hoeing, raking, and all that stuff. Hey, do you see my nails? I don't do none of that. Guess what? God says, I'm going to make you somebody comparable. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Here I come, Marissa. Here I come. See, watch this. See, when you get in God right, there ought to be times when not only is Kenny's hands dirty, come on now, Marissa's ought to be dirty too. Watch this. Not because she liked cars, but because she loved her husband. Oh, you missed all of that. She ain't got to enjoy her hands getting dirty, but see, every now and then, and she ain't got to know nothing about it. But now, if she out there helping, I bet you the job finna go better. Yeah. Hey, I don't know how to fix this part, but I do know how to rub your back right here while you're working on that part. That just changed the whole job. You know what I'm saying? He might have been dragging, because she rubbing his back right, he done sped up. I was tired, but I feel my help coming on now. Let me get this job done, girl. Y'all don't want to help? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Now, she had to leave too. Watch this. But the lesson is so critical, Mother Deborah, because her leaving was actually harder than where her husband had to leave. See, Abraham's challenge was to leave a physical place. His wife's challenge was greater because she had to leave an internal place. Those are harder to escape from. See, you can leave Mississippi and go to another state as long as Mississippi is outside of you.
Come on.
See, if Mississippi is trapped in you, then I don't care what city you go to.
Come on now.
You take Mississippi with you.
Yes, come on now.
Watch this. Let's go to Genesis 16. Now, all up until this point, God has confirmed to Abram at the time, hey man, I'm going to bless you. Chapter 15, they made a covenant. Hey, you're going to have a son. This heir ain't going to be your son. It's all good. God is blessing. They're accumulating stuff. But while he is traveling, she ain't. What have you asked God for? Was it for you or was it for y'all? I told you the word faith in the Old Testament meant agreement, where we also get the word covenant from. So in order to operate in the Old Testament, to understand agreement, this is not about negotiation. When it's God, it's simply a notification. No, you missed it. See, negotiation means, Mother Deborah, I'm going to give my piece, you give your piece, we'll work it out, and on the back end, we'll come together. No. That's negotiation. Notification is, this is what it is. You get with this, or you get to move it. And if you believe you can get on your own, get to moving. But what you discover is the only reason why you came to God is because something in life has shown you, I can't get this on my own. I need God's. Well, God said before help comes, agreement has to be established. Which is why some of us don't never get the real help of God, because we want to bypass agreement. God says what you really want requires walking. And we can't walk unless we agree.
Right.
Come on.
This word is so amazing, because when you look at it from covenant, when you see the Bible from covenant and know that agreement is not negotiation, your children, your marriage, the way you raise your kids, it's already set. It's already in place how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Versus me trying to figure out how to do it. So parenting is already established how it's done. Everything is already established.
Right.
That's why you so jacked up, because you get all this negotiation, and then when you get to God, and you see him for real at like 48, you like no, it was you negotiating. This ain't what this is. This is you get with me, and we gonna move on.
And that's why you have to praise God. Wow. To not live your whole life and die and not realize that this was never about negotiation. It don't matter what your parents said. It don't matter what church you went to.
Come on.
Yeah, now there's the Bible that says, come let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, I'll wash them as white as snow.
Right.
But see, but then also Timothy says, study to show yourself approved unto
God.
Talk to the one who has to navigate this. A workman that,
Needed not to be ashamed.
Rightly
dividing the word of truth.
see, if the word has to be rightly divided, I mean it can be wrongly divided.
Right.
I mean, it takes somebody who has been with God to know, no, this piece go here, this piece go here, this piece go here. See, y'all, watch this. And when somebody explains it, oh, wow. First time Karen and I, we went to a hot dollar restaurant downtown. This guy ordered pork chops. Well, see, the first thing the guy told us was, what you get in the store is wrong because the man cuts it wrong. He cuts it to cheat you out of your meat experience. Because if I cut it a certain way, I can sell less for more. Oh, you missed the point. He said when you cut a pork chop right, when it came on the plate, Keisha, that thing was this big. He said that's how you're supposed to cut it. But now watch this. The man said, now I know you ain't used to seeing a pork chop like this. He said, now you can't eat this like you eat the one at your house. Jamie, I couldn't believe it. The darn thing came with instructions. The man said, now listen, when it comes, now instructions, not demands, instructions. If you want the best eating experience, now it just makes sense, Sister Kelly, pay attention. You ain't never been here. The man work here. Follow directions. He said, now listen, Kenny, the man said, now start right here. Then when you finish eating here, go over here to this part. And then when you finish that, Marissa, he said, now end right here. Hey, let me tell you something.
Oh my Lord.
Now, because I'd never seen a pork chop that big. Now, he ordered it, but he said, man, you gotta try this. So we started over here like the man said. We went over here, and we ended up over here. Now, let me tell you something. Yes, Lord. Now, the whole experience is ruined when you come talking about, don't tell me how to eat pork chops.
Yes.
I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
I've been eating pork chops my whole life. Not like this. Y'all watch this. It's amazing. When we follow the instructions of God, the experience changes.
Yes, it did.
Versus when you're going to go somewhere and tell them how you're going to do it. The experience changes. You don't know what you're doing. So now watch this. In chapter 16, just a few verses. Look at verse 1.
Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children.
Come on.
She had an Egyptian maid whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said to Abram, see here, the Lord has restrained me from bearing children.
She should have said up to this point. Because we're always trying to outguess God. Wow. We are convinced because a thing hasn't happened, it's not going to happen. Keep reading.
I am asking you to have intercourse with my maid.
Watch this.
It may be that I can obtain children by her.
Ain't nothing wrong with that idea. Because it came from someone who was out of step with God. It doesn't matter whether it's the man or the woman. All of us seemingly come up with brilliant ideas that seem like a great idea. Only problem is it's not the will of God. But you don't know it because you just happen to be out of step with God. Watch this. There are only 3 ways we can walk when it comes to God. When we understand the call of God and He says, I'm going to take you somewhere, we walk behind it. Well, you have to because you know the way you're going. We're following. Most of us get a brilliant idea and we go ahead of God. Now you're on your own because you don't want God to stop when He done turned the corner. You're just going. And before you know it, you done went off somewhere, and now you really need God, and God turned the corner 5 blocks ago. Because He knows where. That's what Jeremiah says. I know the plans
I have for you.
against something that we've been taught is negotiable.
Come on.
When I created you, I knew what your life would be. You're just out here on autopilot.
Come on. Yes.
Yeah, you believe what you want to believe. I got news for you.
Wow.
There are times when you fly that the pilot can put it on autopilot. It don't land on autopilot. Yeah, at a certain point, he got to take it off autopilot and steer this thing.
Yeah.
Y'all watch this. We try to live on autopilot. You know, I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to do what I want to do. But it's God who knows the direction of our life. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. So she doesn't know. She's out of step with God. The only other way God wants us is to walk with Him. But Amos 3:3 says, how can two walk together? Except they be. Now, we say in agreement, which almost would make it present tense, but it's agreed. We need to be on the same page first, and then we walk. Many people that don't understand the verse thinks we'll come into agreement as we walk. No. And that inherently is the problem. We want to walk with God, but we're not in agreement. God said, I can't go to war with you. So now, when Enoch walks with God, what you know is they agreed before they walked.
Come on now.
Wow. Watch this. He wants to walk with this man and his wife, but the only problem is they're not on the same page.
Right.
So he has to keep giving them words so that they get to certain places.
Right.
Clearly, chapter 16 proves that her and God are not on the same page. So this idea is not behind God, nor is it along with God. This idea
It's ahead of God.
Now, go to chapter 17, verse 15. Genesis 17:15. Because watch this. The word may start out way off, but in order to accomplish the ordained will of God, Marissa's going to get closer and closer. There are a lot of messages you'll get from God through Kenny, but when it gets on the line, you will hear from God. Because there can't be any wiggle room when it's time to produce for God. Watch this. 17:15, come on.
And God said to Abraham, as for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah. Princess, her name shall be.
Watch this. Why was that important?
Because his name had been changed.
You won't say it loud though.
Because his name had been changed.
And he changed his name because you're closer than you've ever been
To this.
to actualizing what I actually called you to do.
Right.
God today.
See, in the Old Testament, name was indicative of nature and character. And because he was starting to get more and more in step with God, as your nature and character changed, well, let me go and put that name with that nature and character.
Right.
But I can't change you and leave your wife the same. Oh my God.
Right.
How can the preacher study and know God's word and his wife don't? How can the deacon know God's word and his wife don't?
Right. Right.
Oh my God. You can't change the man and not change the wife.
That's right.
Wow. Watch this. He says this to Abraham because you've been calling her something for years because that has been the essence of her life. She looked the same, she sound the same, and she may act the same, but I need you to call her something different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I need you to call her changed even though she ain't changed. Everybody hear nothing I'm saying? See, we want to call our husband no good because he's no good, but you don't want him to be no good. You can't expect change from the same old usual title.
Right. Say something different.
God says, you shall have
Whatever you say.
That's in a prayer in Mark chapter 11.
Yeah.
God says in essence, in Romans 4, he calls those things that aren't as. Now that's how God does it. God says, when I don't like a certain something, I don't talk about it, I change it. Oh my God.
Wow.
Your wife can't cook? Well, quit talking about the fact she can't cook. Put something else in the atmosphere. God, I thank you that my wife is the best cook this house has ever known. I thank you that everything she cooks will be so delicious that we will eat it and be starving for more. See, I'm talking about you got to say that while she done burnt up everything in the house. Say everything. Say it like you mean it. Yeah. I mean, you got to say that in the atmosphere when the whole house is smoky. Watch this. Because you keep saying it in faith. You're going to come home one day and it's going to be a different aroma in the air. But hear what I'm saying? And you won't funny, Sister Carolyn. You're going to want to figure out, you looking around the house. Who's my mama here? Is my auntie here? These are all cooks in your family. You don't move from room to room. Only to discover ain't none of them here. But your used to be couldn't cook wife. Now you trying to figure out, well, who was here? Who just left? I've been here all day. What about this smell that met me at the door? Yeah. Say what? Yeah, I got news for you. Yeah, but you can't give up, y'all. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Abraham, I need you to call her changed, even though she ain't changed. I want you to call her changed until you see the change.
Right.
Watch this. Because even when I changed her name, I'm doing something on the inside.
Come on. Jesus. Jesus.
Yo, watch this. And everybody, it's all over the internet. A bamboo tree is not an American tree. That's an Eastern tree. But a man in America wanted one in his yard, Kenny. The man gives him instructions. When you plant this seed, you have to water this seed every day for 5 years. The man in the store said, "Do you understand what I said?" He said, "I understand what you said." Now, before he gave him the seed, he wanted to know, do you really want a bamboo tree?
Right.
Yeah. He told him again, Jamie, you got to water this seed for 5 straight years, every day without fail. The man thought initially that the watering was going to be the challenge. And so he accepts the seed and he accepts the challenge because he wanted a bamboo tree.
Right.
Oh no, the challenge was not the watering. The challenge was having to defend the watering with no evidence.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Because he has neighbors, he has family, he has friends that will come by on a regular basis.
What you doing?
What is you doing? I'm I'm watering my tree.
What tree?
You know, I wasn't going to send it at first, but, you know, I done drove past here
Every day.
for 8 months.
Come on.
It ain't even a piece of grass that came out this spot. Something is wrong. Something is, because I got news for you. You should have some kind of evidence by now.
Oh, wow.
But do your thing, man. Do your thing. Yeah. And see, if you're not careful, Jamie, folk man will wear you down and make you doubt what God has said to you. But all they need to keep playing in your mind is, did you hear what the man said in the store?
Come on, Pastor.
Just keep watering. Just keep watering. Because the pressure going to ratchet up.
Yes,
sir. Now, 2 years later, Jamie, that same person that came back, I didn't come back to see evidence. I came back to tell you, you need to quit this. The whole neighborhood is talking about you. All the family is talking about you. I'm embarrassed for you. You wasting water. You wasting good dirt and energy. Because you should have some kind of evidence by now.
all right.
But they don't know what kind of tree this is. Nor were they there when the instructions were being given. We're talking about a tree.
Yeah.
But you put whatever you want in the tree. See, yeah, you've been witnessing to your son, your uncle, your cousin, your nephew, your drug dealing neighbor that everybody else in the neighborhood gave up on. But God came to you one night and said, if you just water this drug dealer every day for 5 years, you're going to see something. Now, don't worry about accepting the challenge of watering. Can you water with no evidence? Y'all, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Because history says the first day after the 5th year, something comes up out of the ground. And in the next few days, that tree grows 90 feet. Now, the question is always asked, did it grow 90 feet in just a few days or in 5 years? Y'all, it grew 90 feet in 5 years. Because if the man doesn't water one day, the seed dies in the ground. Listen at that. Don't miss. If you miss watering one day, the seed dies in the ground. And every time you see a bamboo tree, while people admire its beauty and how it has been created and designed by God, what you have to stop and realize is, if I'm enjoying a bamboo tree, where was the water at? Because somebody around here got some serious stick to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but when I get to enjoying the tree, Keisha, where's the man at? Where's the woman at? Because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for somebody watering. And I'm talking about watering every day for 5 years with no evidence while everybody said you was crazy.
Jesus!
You've been taking them Bible lists over there? And that woman been cussing you for 3 straight years. But did God tell you to stop? Well, no, God didn't tell me to stop. Well, keep taking them over there while she cussing.
Yeah, that's right.
She might be a bamboo tree.
Come on, man.
Oh, Lord, I've been down there at jail 20 times to get my son out. I ain't going no more. Did God tell you to stop going? Well, he didn't tell me to stop going. Well, you might have to go 21 times.
Come on now.
It might be on the 21st. He might be a bamboo tree. Y'all looking, but you ain't listening.
Come on, Pastor.
See, y'all, watch this. It's everybody. It's everybody. You don't know. Sometimes you may be the waterer. Dorothy, sometimes you might be the tree. But Sister Carol, we ain't in a position to talk. All you can hope is that whoever's assigned,
Thank you, Jesus.
it was just a little water on me. God, I just pray that they don't give up.
Yes, Lord.
I ain't produced nothing in 4 years. I just pray that they keep watering.
Yes.
Because see, it wasn't the season in 3 years. It wasn't his season in 4 years. It wasn't his season in 4 years, 11 months, and 20 days. Don't stop watering. Don't stop watering. Watch this, watch this. Because when the time is right. Now Sarah ain't there, but she got to keep traveling.
Right. When it's right.
Abraham called her changed, and she ain't changed. Look at 17:16. I'm almost there.
And I will bless her.
Just like I said, I will bless you.
And give you a son also by her.
I got to talk like this because you jumped the gun at 16.
Right.
Listen to God.
Right.
I will give you a son. There go that word again. Now I got to say also, when I should have just said I will give you a son. But I got to add the word also because you went ahead of me.
Yes. Lord Jesus.
Now, he had to choose to dump Lot.
Yes.
But after he dumped Lot, he chose to bring Ishmael in forever. And Ishmael is Lot.
Yes.
He wasn't supposed to be. See, when you don't get rid of your Lot by choice, you get stuck with your Ishmael forever. Anybody hear me? Come on, let's go.
Yes, we are.
He said, I will bless who?
I will bless her.
Come on.
And give you a son also by her.
Now, let me tell you what you're missing in 16a. How does Abram know that Sarai is barren?
He's been married to her all this time.
Yeah.
You won't say it loud.
They've been married to her this time. He know.
Yeah, they've been trying.
They've been practicing.
And after trying all these years, guess what?
Nothing.
And after a while, with no evidence, you quit.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know he was married to a bamboo tree.
Thank you, Lord.
Watch this. That's what God has to say. And I will. Now watch this. This is what you're missing. Ishmael is 13. When God is talking to them, Abraham is 99. His wife is 89. Now, here's what's really real picture is. Not only is Sarah, not only through with barren, the Bible says she's past the time where you can even have kids. So that's a double negative. And he is so old, he cannot perform as a man anymore.
Issues on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't that true? Bamboo and God. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Well, something got to happen.
Yes, sir.
He says, yes.
I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall come from her.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Sister Kelly, I don't know if I should go here or not. I
Come on, Pastor.
don't know if I should.
Don't close to him.
Y'all looking crazy on this part right here. I don't know if I should go here.
Don't close to him.
I know, you know. Don't toast them, don't do it.
I should. Keisha, I should.
Go for it.
Come on, Pastor.
Go for it.
So you say that, Dorothy,
Can't
but
cheat the people.
Dick, you say that, Dick, okay?
Don't do it.
Look at what you done, don't do it.
Deacon's son is running the camera. That's why he won't turn the camera on his dad. Watch this. All right. Only because you said it.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Genesis 1:28. Now hold that thought right there. Genesis 1:28.
Come on.
We're going to come right back if we got time. Watch this. You ready? You ready? That's what you say. All right, Jamie, here you go. Look at 128. Well, this is 127, then we'll do 28. Come on, 27.
So God created man in his own image.
Show up.
In the image and likeness of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them.
Didn't he do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch this.
28.
Come on, 28.
And God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful.
Stop.
You didn't put an age on it.
Adam nor Eve could produce until God blessed.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I say blessed is
It take God. It didn't say, and he blessed her.
Yeah.
No.
Which would mean Adam could produce and she was barren.
Right.
So that you understand the concept, they were both barren. Couldn't either one do nothing.
Jesus.
It's possible to have the parts and they not work.
Yes.
It's possible to have parts that produce pleasure but won't produce for God because you don't know where you got them.
Wow.
Without, and God blessed them, which is the same bless that he had to do for Sarah.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
They would have just slept in the same bed and not produced.
Nothing.
Go back to Genesis 17. The reason we're examining the faith of Sarah is because it does not matter that man or church or family chooses to ignore or overlook you. If God has included you, you're included. Even when those closest to you attempt to exclude you. Yes, no more two but one flesh. But even in the one flesh experience, see, there's a man praise and then there's a woman praise. And see, because real truth has not settled in you, and how you know it's not settled in you? Because ain't no real praise came out of you yet.
Right.
Watch this. Look at 17:17. I'm going to show it to you.
Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said in his heart,
Not out loud.
shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a son?
Listen to this. 18.
And he said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you.
Did you hear it? God just said, I'm going to do something supernatural through you and your wife. I intend to include her.
Right.
Did you hear what he just said?
Very specific.
All that.
Ishmael.
Wait a minute. See, Ishmael is what you're involved with.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I'm not with that.
Come on,
She's
Holy
been
Spirit.
excluded from that whole ordeal.
Yeah.
She has nothing vested in him.
Right.
I can't bless that.
Right.
I can't covenant that. Wow. And I don't understand why you happy and you can see that she ain't happy.
Hallelujah.
Ain't nobody hearing me.
Hallelujah.
Watch this. Does he love her? Yes. Was this a cold-blooded attempt to exclude her? Yes. Because if God listens to him and goes with Ishmael, she gets locked out of the deal. Are you hearing me?
Right.
Yes, sir.
I've been here all these years. She came in on the tail end, and she gets the end blessing after all the work I put in.
Yeah.
That ain't God. You're missing all of this. Watch this. Even with him, his attempt, God has to reiterate. Look at 19. We're almost there.
But God said,
Watch this.
Sarah, your wife, shall bear you a son indeed, and you shall call his name Isaac. Laughter.
Come on.
And I will establish my covenant or solemn pledge with him for an everlasting covenant and with his posterity after him.
Watch this. Because you still got your mind on son. I got my mind on covenant and nation.
Yes, sir.
Watch this. 20.
And as for Ishmael, I have heard and heeded you. Behold, I will bless him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. He will be the father of 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation.
I don't even have time to unpack all this for y'all, but see, the reason we consistently miss God is because we get excited over the blessing and miss the covenant.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Sister Carolyn, that sounds good. Go up to 20. Listen at that. Man, I'm going to make him fruitful. I'm going to multiply him. He will be the father of 12 princes. If your sons are princes, what that make you?
King.
This is a bad boy. I will make him a great nation. That sounds wonderful. But all of that talk is outside the covenant. Which means whatever God got on his mind, y'all, covenant is up above and far beyond what he just said in this verse. Watch this, 21.
But my covenant,
Listen to this.
my promise and pledge, I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you at this season next year.
Watch this. Why couldn't they just have the kid right then? She not ready.
That's right.
Watch this. You got to believe at the end of 17, Abraham has to go back and explain to Sarah what God said. That's why I told you earlier, Marissa, there are times when you have to hear from God. Because the word God spoke to and through your husband is just beyond what you can believe. In chapter 18, just a few verses and we're going to pray. A little while later, God understands this thing is not settled in Sarah. You can't be barren, Sister Carolyn, for 90 years and then hear from your husband and just go in the room and start back practicing.
All right. Come on, Spirit.
Because you have lived too long in the realm of I can't and I've never.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
See, Abram could leave Earth. Abram could leave his kindred. Abram could leave his family. But Sarah couldn't leave the realm of I can't and I've never. Because that traveled with her.
Yes.
But in order to get where I need you to be, Sarah, you have to leave where you have lived your whole life.
Oh, wow. Woo! Lord Jesus, don't do it.
See, it's easy to leave a person. It's easy to leave a place. It's harder to leave who you become.
Yes.
When you're convinced that's who you're supposed to die as. And God said, I don't care how long you've been that person. That's not who I ordained for you to be. Watch this. God in chapter 18 has actually come down to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. But since I'm in the neighborhood, let me just go on and stop by Abraham's house. Because I need to deliver a message today. Watch this. 18:9. We're almost there. Come on.
And they said to him, where is Sarah, your wife? And he said, she is here in the tent.
What I tell you didn't have in a tent? You don't have no
Privacy.
You hear,
Not you in a tent on
see,
the
and know
Everything.
when you're in a tent.
Right.
Now she in there trying to make like she doing something, but she listening today, and God don't mind that she listening because I came today
That's right.
to say something to you.
That's right.
Here he comes. Watch this.
The Lord said, I will surely return to you when the season comes round. And behold, Sarah your wife will have a son. And Sarah was listening and heard it at the tent door,
Did you see that?
which was behind him.
This happened just a little bit after he talked to Abraham. See, okay, it's confirmed, it's settled in you. But any married couple know, it takes two to tango.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, you've gone in the place and somebody ain't in the mood. And so when that's the case, guess what? No tango. Because it takes two. Come on, I don't feel I ain't in the mood. Yeah, and the tango can't be a fight. It don't work. Watch this. Watch this. And because this ain't about just a physical encounter, this is about a covenant exchange. So because of it, Marissa, if it's to work in this room, somebody has to be in agreement. I don't hate to fight you to come in this room. I need you to agree to come in this room so that together we can produce what God said will come through us. 11.
Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in years. It had ceased to be with Sarah as with young women.
Watch this. When he asked for a son, he made covenant in 15. Who walked the blood?
God.
Who didn't?
Abraham.
What did he ask him for in 15? He asked for a son. Because 14 he had just gave all the stuff back.
Right.
15 God said, boy, don't worry about what you gave back. I'm your reward. He gonna tell me, that sound good.
Oh, you got one.
What you gonna give me since I ain't got no kid?
Right.
He said, you tripping on that? I've been telling you I'm gonna bless you with a son.
Long time.
And he gonna have this land. How do I know I'm inherited? He didn't give me no evidence.
Right.
He gave him evidence. He gave him covenant as evidence.
Yeah.
Watch this. Watch this. But who walked the blood?
God.
Who didn't?
Abraham.
So when it comes to this son, I need you to understand something. You can't get him on your own.
That's right.
That's why I walk the blood, because when he comes, it's going to be past the time of you and your wife.
Right? Y'all can't do that.
And the only way he going to come, it'll be because of the one who walked the blood.
Come on.
Watch this. So no matter if they were old and well stricken in years, they was old, but God wasn't.
Right.
Look at 12.
Therefore Sarah laughed to herself.
Watch this. Who laughed first?
Abraham.
Her husband did.
Yes, it is.
In the chapter earlier, when he told him, you and your wife gonna have a kid, he got in a place to worship. The Bible said he got on his face before God. Not allowed. The Bible said he laughed within himself. That's a funny laugh when you can laugh within yourself. I ain't trying to offend nobody. But what you talking about is pure foolishness. That's funny to me. He laughed within himself. He laughed first. Watch this. But Dorothy, I don't mind her laughing because that means they laughing together.
Right. They on the
See, when you can laugh together, you can love together. Oh, you missed it.
Hallelujah.
Sarah laugh, come on. Within herself saying 12.
Wait.
After I become,
I'm coming. After I have become age, shall I have pleasure and delight?
watch this. Because y'all ain't no pleasure when you can't produce.
Right.
See how we miss it? We think it's pleasure without producing. God said it's only pleasure attached to it when production is on your mind. She said, should I have pleasure and,
Delight,
watch this,
my Lord, husband, being old also?
we both old. Watch this, 13, come on.
And the Lord asked Abraham, why did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I really bear a child when I am so old?
Write this down.
Is anything too hard or too wonderful for the Lord?
Watch this.
At the appointed time, when the season for her delivery comes around, I will return to you, and Sarah shall have born a son.
Why is he saying at the appointed time? Because with all this laughing going on, we ain't ready. See, God says, I need you to go in the room. Not with pleasure on your mind, with purpose on your mind.
Oh, wow.
This ain't about just having fun. So, Jamie, they going there with purpose. You see how when we go in the room, it ain't for purpose. It's for pleasure, and we missing God. God will let pleasure show up in the room when the motivation is right. They went in there with purpose. Y'all. Watch this. 15, we're going to pray.
Then Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid.
Yeah, it's time to get afraid when God can show you, I know what's going on in here. She didn't say nothing out loud. She laughed within herself. And God called her on the carpet. And then she said, I didn't laugh. Oh, yeah, you laughed. Wow. It's got to be God because He knows what's going on without me saying nothing. That means if I know about your secret laugh,
Come on.
I also know about your secret pain.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Come on.
Wow, wow, wow.
It's really a blessing that what we're going over and what Charles is bringing was lining up with a lot of things that were said and presented last night. You know, a lot of times as you go through and navigate this thing called life, that happiness can come from your own efforts and what you feel will make you happy, whether it be this type of car, this type of house. And I've come to know and find out that, you know, sure that can be okay, but it ain't the bottom line what defines what our Father has a purpose in your life. When you obedient to what He wants us to do.
Right.
You know, I've driven brand new cars off the showroom floor before. But what goes with that is a payment. They're not just giving it to me. You know, I'm driving a car out there now that's, you know, got a lot of issues. But it's doing the same thing that the car I got off the showroom floor did. Got me to work, got me to church, got me to places I need to go. We was just sitting at the red light just yesterday. Man, brand new Porsche, high dollar Porsche, sitting there won't crank. Okay, it's still a car. And as you speaking last night, as you're speaking now about the marriage situation, you know. You're in covenant agreement in a marriage. And I call it the old Jedi mind trick. Where you get to thinking stuff because things are going bad. You know, things were going bad for them. It wasn't producing the way they wanted to. And then, you know, think, well, leave. I can't find happiness in another woman's arms. That's not the answer. There's nothing wrong with the marriage. It's the people in the marriage. And I had to, get that and understand that, knowing that, hey, 50% of marriages are breaking up, but 85% of second marriages break up. So what's the issue here then? It's something within me. It's something within me that I got to correct. Because running from marriage to marriage, from car to car, all that kind of stuff, that ain't the answer. That's not bringing me happiness.
And at the end of the day, that's right. It starts, it ends, it's God in the middle.
Yes, sir.
It's God on the front end, it's God in the middle, it's God on the back end. In the story. And you, me, anybody else, as long as we are trying to accomplish our own thing, you're going to get a lot of Ishmael. And ain't neither one of them going to bless or benefit your relationship. If Isaac is what we're after, and Isaac is who produces Jesus. So if Jesus is what you're after, then it has to go God's way. It has to go God's way in the front, in the middle, and in the back. And as we get ready to pray, if nothing else registers with you in this lesson, when we read about these Old Testament saints, this is what you got to understand. When you go home and say, hey God, I want this, fix it, I want to do this. The first thing God's going to want you to understand is this. When I talk, this is point number one. This is a notification. It's not a negotiation. What you're talking about is you want to walk with me. Newsflash. I want you to walk with me. But we can't walk together because you believe this is a negotiation. This is a notification. Yeah. As we pray. See, I don't care what kind of work you are. When they decided in another meeting that you're fired,
You go. Just a matter of
when they say, can I see you in my office? See, here's the problem. We're going to break. You come to negotiate. What can I do? What can I fix? How can I be better? You come to negotiate and they talking about what is wrong with them? They in Isaiah 40. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard? That thou is on thy way to the door? King James Version. And while you talking about, can I have another chance? For my wife, my kid, I just bought a house. I just bought a car. And when you get through crying,
Grab your bottle.
That's true. I don't have a job for you, but you take these tissues on your way out. That's so cold. Why is it so cold? Because this wasn't no negotiation. We called you an officer to notify. You out of here. Y'all watch this. And when we can agree in God that, you know what, God? 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 60 years. I don't care how long you've been traveling. Can we come to the table so that I can understand what the notification is? When we get there in God, and it starts changing that second. Father, we thank and we praise you so much. We give you glory, honor, and praise. That just like the first covenant was non-negotiable, newsflash, neither is the second one. Because Hebrews teaches us that Jesus was the negotiator and the mediator of the second covenant. The negotiator is the one concerned with the details. Jesus didn't meet with us, but because he created us and he knows us, he didn't leave nothing to chance. He not only negotiated the details of the new covenant, he turned right around, the Bible says, and mediated. That's the one who makes it happen. He made sure that the details were in place and then changed roles as the mediator to bring it to pass. On a hill called Calvary when none of us born. So I thank you that as we learn about the first covenant, it wasn't negotiable, neither is the second one. So as we're learning, they're both about notifications. We just need to get an agreement with you, God, what you've already put in place. Thank you for the word that you prepared for your people in the hour to come. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.